Hello, greetings and namaste. I'm Prakash Sandagiri from Nepal. So this is great privilege to say and to speak with you all today and sharing the ideas on reading. I think you are teacher trainer, students, academicians, researcher, whoever you are. The more we input, the more we can output. So reading is very, very important. I really like two things, reading and listening. Listening is also a form of hospitality and discipline, and reading as well. So ideas to inspire, what type of reader are you? On this topic I'm sharing. So I'm Prakash Chandragiri from Pokhara, Nepal. I'm an M.Phil scholar at Nepal Open University, and I did uh, some research on reading with my students as well. So I would like to share and cascade to you all on this topic today and sharing some of my experiences. And I hope you will be with me. First of all, I'd like to share you some of the inspirational quotes. This course really made us trigger with some of the, some of the things, and we can really be blessed with this some course. So I have brought one quote from Bible: "Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction." So we are wise people, we are academicians, and we need to store up knowledge, that wisdom. And the more we store up knowledge, the wisdom, and we can share to others. And there is another quote: "There is no friend as loyal as a book." A book is your very nice friend who loves, who inspires you. And never trust anyone who hasn't brought a book with them. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales, stories, novels. If you want your children more intelligent, read them more fairy tales, more books. So this is the thing Albert Einstein said. And when I get little money, I buy books. If any is left, I buy food and clothes. So this inspirational course, I think you are really blessed and you are encouraged with these verses. And then we can share to others. And you can share to your other people who really want to learn more and read more. So this is the some of the ideas in the beginning I would like to share. And one of my stories, one poem can change people, one story can change people, one song can change people, one poem can change people. And my one testimony is that when I was in a school level and the woods are lovely, dark and deep, stopping by was on Snow Evening, a poem written by Robert Frost was shared to my teacher. And then at that time, I was plunged into it. I was, learning very effectively with this poem. And this really made me on track. And I'm accountable for my life. I'm responsible for my life. And I have a lot of responsibilities and duties before my death, before I sleep. And that really helped me to focus on my career and my responsibilities, not to waste my time, to the productivity thieves. These days I see many different medias, have become like productivity thieves. They are killing our time. We are not managing our time. We are not having the informations, and we are not attending the different events because of the productivity thieves, because we are wasting our time. We don't know the responsibility and duties. And that poem really changed my way. And this is my one story I would like to share you. That a poem can change people means a book can change definitely people. And if we read something very interesting, encouraging, and people can change. So this is just one example to you. Reading books is very important in the sense that it helps store up knowledge, give us entertainment, make us more intelligent and courageous, be attentive in listening and reading skill, develop reading any piece of writing in detail, be familiar with the writing style, be familiar with the complex items. We understand some of the vocabulary by reading. When we read and we understand, we guess, and we see the context of the passage and the previous and the following lines. And And then we understand that complex things. It helps to get all those feelings and ideas. It develops our self-confidence. So reading books is very crucial in our life, right? Do you agree with this point? Yes, of course. I think you agree. If so, what type of reader are you? Are you a good reader? Are you bibliophile? You like to collect your books and read and complete this? Do you enjoy it? Do you think you are good at reading? You love to read? When you have something in your hands, do you read it in details? And what kind of reading habit do you have? Do you read in details, or do you just leave something without completing? Do you understand why reading is important? Do you really know the meaning of reading and the power of reading? Do you ever wish you felt better after reading? Reading is healing, sometimes I say. So do you like to collect and read books? Do you have books? How many books do you have at your home? At your library, at home? Are you self-directed reader? You know, somebody pushes you, oh, father, mothers, uncle, others. So read, my son, my kids, you read. And they use mobile. How can they read? Let them read themselves. So are you self-directed reader? Means you just read, you try to read yourself, you like to read. We don't like to be imposed or forced by others. So reading with pleasure, reading with enjoyment. How many books are there at your home? What kind of books are there? And do you have? This is a very important question to you. Some important question again I want to add to you today. Have you read any books this month? This is June. Did you finish reading any one book? If yes, what did you read them? Why did you read them? What did you learn from them? And to whom did you share after reading them? Or did you apply what you learned? These are powerful questions. Ask yourself, answer yourself. I request to answer yourself and read yourself. And you can ask to others around you. This is the thing we need to know and ask the question. Have you ever gifted to your daughter, your son on birthday party a book? Have you received a book as a gift? Please give a book to your student or kids at birthday party. This is very nice initiation to encourage others reading, to inspire to read others. You can give as a present to the person on different occasions, on Christmas party, on Christmas celebration, or on different occasions. So you can give it to others as a gift. A very nice book you can give. And I have brought some of the findings written by Stephen Krashen, and I'm one of the follower. I mean, I talk to Stephen Krashen, and we chat, we talk often, and he recommended me a book written by him, The Power of Reading. I think you know him. Is Stephen Krashen, The Input Hypothesis, is famous in the world, and I think you know him very well. So he said that free voluntary reading, FVR, that means you're reading because you want to read, you know, the book which you like to read, and that gives more power to you, and that gives more ideas to you, and you are inspired, you are encouraged, you know, when you are encouraged yourself to read something, and that really helps to understand and to go in depth learning. So this is powerful way of learning. Sometimes we can conduct in school for reading programs. Let them bring the books and read, and let them share, and let them collect some books, and weekly they can share what they read and understood from that book. So reading is a powerful means of developing reading comprehension, ability, writing style, vocabulary, grammar, and spelling. All in all, reading is a powerful means. Who can avoid it? Nobody. So good readers develop a good writing style. Many people say the more you write, the more you can write. The more you write, the more you can be a good writer. Sometimes I don't agree with this point. The more you read, the more you can write. The more you input, the more you can output. Examples, if there is glass, I can show you glass. The glass is empty now. Glass is empty. Nothing is here. Nothing is here. There's no water. Somebody asks, give me water, but I can't give because this is empty. But I fill this glass with water, and I can fill it, and I can give it to others. Let's take water. Because I filled the glass from the tap, from the jar, and then I can give to others. That means the more we input, the more we can fill our mind by reading, and the more we can output, and the more we can share others and write. So a good reader is a good speaker. A good reader is a good writer. A good listener is a good speaker. So let's not avoid it. Learn to read by reading. How can we read or make a habit of reading? Reading by reading, learn to read by reading. This is the way. Different books we should have at home. The more powerful things is to have a library at home. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. But first you must make sure the water is there. And when it is, horses always eventually drink. More access at home results in more reading, more access of books, Better classroom libraries result in more reading. Better school libraries result in more reading. Access to public libraries results in more reading. Do you agree it? Have you seen the school who has a good library have good result? This is the truth. This is a true finding. Access to public libraries, that community develops, They can. So better environment, accessible, printed environment. The more you can read the books. Free volunteer reading and literacy development. It's a process. And I'm going to show you some of the skills, study and reading skills. What do we do before starting? Skimming, scanning to get the gist of the topic. That's preview. Recalling about the topic, what you discuss, what you read, what you studied. And questioning why, what, who, how. You can ask the 7W or 5W1 answer or 7W1 answer question to create interest. While reading, you don't just read in a place where you see. Sometimes change the place also. It helps to concentrate. After reading 1 hour, you can break 10 minutes. That 10 minutes is summarizing, relaxing, and breathing exercise for you. And after reading, you can revise. And how do you revise reading items? At the end of the study, at night, next day, and weekly and monthly before examination or before writing something. So revision is mother of memory. Revision helps to learn and extract the ideas. So let's not avoid revision pattern. So these are some of the study skills and reading skills. I'd like to inspire you, encourage you to apply it, and then we can make a practice and a habit of reading. And sometimes we can do speed reading, one feeling or one experience you have, the more speed you ride a motorbike or car, the more concentration you have, right? So speed reading also one of the techniques which helps to concentrate and focus on the gist. So for this, let's preview questioning, Reading, summarizing, and visualizing. After, while reading, you can visualize what happens, what's going on. So the power of visualizing is also a practice in reading. Some of the bad habits of reading: eye jumping, rereading. You read the whole passage, whole text. Again, you read because you are not well concentrated. That's the problem. Lack of concentration, poor fixation. So how to overcome such kind of bad habits in reading? Finger matter, fixation matter, keyword matter, concentration music also sometimes, we can listen to concentration music and read. That helps to focus on you. You can see on YouTube many concentration music or reading music, which helps to focus and concentrate and to get the ideas from reading. So this is the other, it depends on the people how they do, but I practice as well that one. So reading, we are practicing and we are doing, we have been practicing, we have been doing. But we have to know the styles and the types of reading. What are they? Skimming, scanning, in-depth reading. The three things I want to share you. Skimming is a process of knowing the overall ideas, general impression of the main argument and the ideas. Scanning, the finding the exact information. You scan the words, numbers, names, ideas to specific study question answering. In depth, that to gain or get the deeper meaning of the whole comprehension of the text. The research detailed information for an assignment, in-depth reading is applied. I will go one by one. So first is skimming. You see the picture here? They skim, the stone and the river, Skimming means to read a page, skip the headings, first and second sentence of each paragraph, or each section or final paragraph, picture analysis, title analysis, and seeing the repeated items, repeated words. For example, I'm writing about an essay on Nepal, about Nepal. Nepal is a repeated word, so repetition of the ideas. So these days, people are familiar with skimming. They use smartphones, social media, so they skim the notifications and the, some of the lines they study, post. And scanning is finding the particular information. The person who is waiting in the airport to go to USA, to fly in USA, but he's only trying to listen the boarding announcement to fly USA. Not UK, not Australia, not anywhere. He is only waiting for that particular country where he's going to travel, that is USA, and he's waiting at the airport. So scanning differs from skimming. So finding the answer to a question, sometimes we stuck on some of the difficulties, but we can scan the text of the questions and answers, what you really need, and we can do that. So when you scan and you find the necessary information, what you really need. In-depth reading is the most involved, essential to understand the concept, argument that the whole text contains. In-depth reading, there are different types of in-depth reading, and I'll share to you. In-depth reading, why we use to gain deeper meaning, comprehension, and we read the difficult section of the text. We need more time and the availability and more concentration. And there are 4 ways of in-depth reading. We can see one by one. The RAP strategy, that is reading, asking yourself some question, or you have just read and put the answer in one verse. So it is good for the textbook explanation and research articles. Reading some sections, asking yourself some questions, and put the answers in one verse. And you can make the notes on it. Another one is reader strategy. Read, imagine the scene, what you have just read about, describe it to yourself, add more detail as you read. So it is the useful way for descriptive and narrative text. The 5S method: skim, scan, select, slot, summarize. So this method reminds the students or teachers, whoever, to use the appropriate reading style and save time. Read the introduction, first and last sentence of each paragraph, that is skimming. Scanning is the where the information is on, right? And the select means, do you need to read all the chapters? You can select some of the sections that you really need to know or you need to explore more on that point. Read in depth, more slowly selected sections. So read again if necessary, that is slow. Summarize, you can make a keywords or mind map also. You can map, or you can make the cards. You can make a framework. So you can just summarize with the keywords. One example, making a keywords, understanding keywords. For example, one person gives 1 hour speech, and what you have to understand is who spoke, what about he spoke, what was the main idea and theme of that speech, and where was the speech delivered. So some of the points, if we understand it, we understand all these things, and other things, rest of the things we can easily guess. So the way of summarizing is taking the keywords, what you really need to understand, know, and remember, and memorize that. And another one is, yes, Q3R method: survey, question, reading the materials using a slower in-depth reading style, reciting, making notes from memory, and reviewing. That is the checking or recalling the notes, the section. So first, skim through the material you are about to read, headings, subheadings, diagrams, graphs, tables, charts, and asking yourself some of the questions while you are reading. You can see with the questions at the end of the chapter. Read the materials with in-depth reading style. Sometimes you can pause there when you're necessary. You can read with a pencil. You can make the phrase, underline the words which are important and particular for you. You need that. Make notes from the memory, from the section you have just read. Try to recall it and review it. So this is another way of reading. Reading for research, skimming a lot to get an overview of all the ideas out there, and reading carefully, questioning and remembering, and you narrow down your topic and you are ready to write. So reading a journal article, what do we do? Skimming an article. If you are skimming a shorter selection or an article, you can make preview. How? Read the first and last paragraphs, read the headings, read perhaps a sentence or two under each headings. Under each headings, you can read 1 or 2 sentences. You can overall glance the rest of the paragraph, look at the graphs, the illustrations, other figures there. And you can choose some of the points which you really need to know, that first sentence of each paragraph, every paragraph. That is skimming an article. Scanning, you can look for the table, chart, diagrams. You should scan an article. How? By looking the tables, charts, diagrams. You can read the abstract and keywords. That sections come in the beginning. And these are the concepts. And this is scanning. And you can scan the introduction and conclusion part, headings, methodological section, and other findings, and main subheadings. So containing the keywords, concept. So you have to scan while reading an article. So in depth, once you have a good overview of the article, you should read them in depth, in details, to take the notes. And you can have the full information using other references as well. Reading an academic book, somehow different, but almost same. That is previewing the book by how do you preview or skim the book, an academic book. You can check a title and author. You can read the cover page and preface and acknowledgement and something on the author. You can check the content, what are they in the index. You can glance the book. You can see the paragraph. Scanning a book, you see the table, diagrams, subtitles, titles, and you ask some of the question and you try to find out the answer. Table of the contents, figures, chapter headings, keywords, shows the index for topics or keywords. So these are the scanning. And the same way, once you good overview of the book, and then you read in depth and take the careful notes. So there are the some of the points I discussed today with you. Thank you so much. These are some of the references for the reading you can practice. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So this is great to be with you all. And the more you read, the more you can write. To be a good researcher, we have to be a good reader. So what type of reader are you? Do you read? Do you know the importance of reading? And do you input much or not? So if you have any questions, any queries, please, you can ask me, put your question on this email, and I will try to answer you. And I have many materials which I would like to send you and share you. Some of the links I would like to share you regarding reading. And let's make a habit. And habit is formed through our continuous practice, continuous reading. Learn to read by reading. So the more we read, the more we can write. The more we listen, the more we can speak. So the more we input, the more we can output. So this is the theme. And I would like to inspire you with this quote. Thank you so much for listening, for being with me. And if you have any queries, please write me an email and we can make regular talks. Thank you so much. Have a great time with you all. Thank you.